Hello and welcome back. My name is Rebecca, and on this video I'm doing Deligracy's BuildCrest, and I'm doing the shell challenge. So it's actually quite a large shell, and I flipped it around on the lot so that it would face the opposite direction. And I worked on this for over 6 hours, so this is sped up quite a bit, just to let you know. So I like the diagonal walls there. I was trying to figure out how to do something with that. In this, what I was doing was start with the base, or not the basement, the main floor. Put the steps in because it's hard to get steps to fit in with a shell challenge like this. There was not a lot of space in the top level for for the steps. So I started off on the bottom, but then I just switched in and started doing the rooms on the top because it was a smaller floor. And there's a spot there where there was an open square, so I wanted to leave it open to the sky. And over top of the basement, or I keep saying basement, over top of the main floor, instead of having all the kind of wacky, weird things and trying to roof them, I made them all into patios, or almost all of them. There is a roof in one section, but I figured patios were a little bit easier to work with. And I was trying to do like a rounded patio here, but I couldn't quite get everything to work the way I wanted to. And then the round ones over top of the diagonal wall at the bottom, it left an empty space, and I didn't want to have kind of like an octagon on one side and round on the other. So eventually I got this figured out and made it just kind of like an octagon at the front there. But I did make it round and on the other side here. So I started off doing half walls around the patio, but I had a fence on the other side instead and a fence around the tree. And in the end, I did actually end up changing it all to a fence. So here I am just putting the roof on the different sections. And there's the little roof over the one section on the bottom. And so for the roof, it is actually really hard to roof these things. I think that's part of the point of the shell challenge is it's difficult. It's of odd shapes. So I did actually manage to get it roofed the way I liked it eventually. I got some roof trim on, and it's a red roof that I went with in the end, kind of like I believe it's a tile roof or a shingle roof. Here I can't see. Yeah, it was a shingle roof, and so I kind of went with the red theme a little bit with the darker red. I think it was a dark red wood, but I wanted to make it look like kind of like a medieval house from Get Together, with the plaster in between the beams. And this is why I switched from the half walls, is I couldn't find a half wall that I thought looked nice with the walls that I had picked for the main and top floor. So I did switch it over to a fence. And when I do my walkthrough later on, you'll see I actually changed the fence again later on off camera. It's just a different color. So, and then I started doing windows and doors. I pretty much used the same windows and doors throughout most of the build. And in this bottom here, I just made that room pretty much stays the same. It's just one giant room on the bottom, but it does get divided up with some dividers later on. So, let's see. So what I wanted to do on here is to have like the main bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, and then have two other rooms for kids in the family. End up splitting one of the rooms into two because it was significantly larger than any other room. So it ends up with 3 bedrooms for children and 1 main bedroom. And so then there's 2 bathrooms upstairs. And I noticed watching this, there's a little a wall section that didn't get uh, for some reason get the wallpaper for the outside, the wall finish. Eventually, you'll see it a lot. Eventually it does get it. But don't worry. It wasn't forgotten. So I have these bay windows here. I like those. They use quite a few places. So it looks like there's 5 of those throughout the house. And then so I use the windows too from Get Together with the shutters for the most part. And it's really neat because if you put them side by side, then the shutters will just go on the outermost windows. And I tried to make sure that the windows were all in between the beams, same with the doors, except for one window, the little tiny one, you can see right there, the really narrow window. That one is not in between the beams, it's right on the beam. And also the windows had to be above the wainscoting on the walls. Otherwise, I didn't think it looked right on the inside of the walls. So I'm decorating up the rooms here. Most of them are fairly plain. Just the wainscoting and plaster, different colors of plaster, except for the 1 bedroom. And so I was trying to figure out what to do here with these rooms. I couldn't figure out what to do with that diagonal section there. It just seemed weird. Oh, and then I put a tree in that space there, so it's like a little conservatory type of thing. Or a courtyard with a tree that comes up. So I got it finally, so it mostly worked, but it did clip through the walls here. So when I'm decorating that room, I'm trying to hide the clipping tree because I didn't want it to show up too much. So I got a dresser that I thought got most of the tree, and then I'm just trying to put things around it so that you can't see that other section there. So I used flowers. I think those are Batu ones. I love the Batu flowers. I love Batu in general because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but it has amazing flowers. So, and then I got a dollhouse in there, and the large size dollhouse did manage to hide most of what was left of the leaves from that tree. So I got a little bed in there, potty, and then a bookshelf, but I was having some troubles getting everything in that I wanted. So, but I did get everything in there eventually. And then this room I thought would be for twin boys. I don't know why I thought boys, but in general, it's just kind of like a nondescript room. But the other 2 are very specifically probably for girls because just the way I have everything set up in them. One room is very obviously pink. And I mean, boys can use pink too, but I just thought it was more for a girl in my mind. So this one is fairly neutral. It has a lot of reds and beige. And then there's a little desk with a computer. And in this room, part of the roof section there kept showing up, and I tried to I don't know if you noticed when I was trying to do the hallway, I couldn't get it to work without getting all of the walls of that roof to show the same wall as the hallway. So I just made the hallway the same as the outside. That didn't work for this room, so I just covered it up with a mirror. So there's a little dressing table in there. I like those pendant lights. I can't remember which pack they're from, but I do love them, so I have them in there. And then I had another paper light in the toddler room, and then like a candle, not candelabra, but like a chandelier with candles from in the other bedroom. And I'm not sure why I kept putting things as if they were off the grid. So there's a lot of candles in this build. Maybe it's because I tend to play with off the grid on my own Sims, and so I'm used to using the off the grid lights more often than not. But they've got computers and TVs and things in this, so it doesn't really make sense, other than it looks nice. So the last bedroom here, I kind of thought that this would be somebody who's interested in ninjas. That's why they have the uh, the fighting machine there. I forget what that's called. And then they also are interested in like some crafty types of things or music. It was music in that one. And then in this bedroom is all full of knitting stuff by the end. And I decorated this one mostly with the uh, spellcaster realm of magic furniture. Uh, it just seemed to go nicely with the style of the room, I thought. Um, and it's a large room. It's very big. So I was trying to find things to fill it up. So there's the table for the desk that's got all the crafting stuff on it. I put balls of yarn all across it, and a bag of yarn right in the middle of the desk beside an old typewriter-looking computer. Um, and then flowers. There is a lot of flowers. I figured these people were flower plant lovers because there is flowers everywhere in this build. Um, and I wanted to make it look like they were almost sitting on the little ledge there, but I don't think you can actually set things on that ledge. So I found a few ways to get things to look like they were sitting on there though. And mostly it was kind of by accident. I'm not very good at builds that people do where they raise things and move them around so that they all look. You can put things together to make it look like something completely different. I'm still learning how to do that, so sometimes when that happens, it's like a happy accident for me. So the bathroom is even has a lot of plants in here. I started off with that bathtub full of plants, but I don't think it stays. I think, yeah, I got rid of it there. Um, but I also used a lot of the Realm of Magic uh, plumbing stuff in there too, the shower and the toilet, sink. But I put the big corner tub in there as well, and everything is very themed by colors. So this bathroom is very blue, and then the other bathroom is kind of a pink and red and gray, or like a dark, kind of like a raspberry red. Um, but for the most part, it's the lighter pink with the there isn't a whole lot of pink in the tubs, so or and for that matter in the toilets and and the things like that. So it's a little harder to get a pink bathroom unless you're putting in like here the house coats for the or bathrobes, whatever you want to call them, for the older children in the house. Um, and then there's candles and more flowers. And here, this is a happy accident. I actually somehow managed to get the candles to look like they're sitting on the edge of the windows there. I don't know how I did that. I really don't. So I have a lot of sized up flowers just to make them look bigger because the ones I liked were the tiny little flowers. And then here we go. I start decorating it decorating the balcony. Um, so have like some of their skill stuff out here. So there's a chess table there. There's a lot of benches so they can sit and I don't know, watch the sunset. Uh, and I thought about putting a telescope out there, but it's just so big. I really miss the Sims 2 telescope that you can just put it right out on a deck and really easy to blend into the house. Um, but there's a suit of armor here. um, I put I was going with the realm of magic a little bit here, so there's a giant what do you call that cauldron, but you can cook with the cauldron too. So and then on this side, what else did I put in here? I thought about a bowling alley, but it's too big too. But I did manage to get the ping pong table tennis in there. And planters, lots and lots of planters. Like I said, these people must really like planting, or well, planting plants, but there's planters all over the place. And then I put in some laundry hampers around a couple of the rooms, and then I moved downstairs here to work on the lower level. So I took out all the lights that had been put in there, 'cause I don't like those little tiny ones. I want lights I can actually see when I'm building. So I wanted to put a closet in this little space, but I had windows in there already. So it couldn't seem to get that to work for what I wanted. So eventually I just took that wall out and had it as a little alcove instead. So what I did instead here was in the front here, I put a closet there. So I put a double closet right at the front there by the front entrance. And instead of having doors to all the rooms, a lot of these rooms actually have arches. So I'm just putting in same as upstairs. Most of the walls are just plaster. Some have wainscoting, some don't. The bathroom here is a green one with green tile flooring. And there's another washroom right there too, and it's actually red. It's a red themed one. So I put some fairies all around too. There's a couple end up here by the tree. And I believe there was one or two up on the upper level as well. Put some hollyhocks in. I love hollyhocks. I have some planted in my flower bed here in my house, except the ones I have here are black. I could never seem to get the colored ones to actually grow, but the black ones would. So, but this area is all covered with windows, so it's a very pretty little view that you can see through from anywhere in this main room. So this part here is the kitchen and dining room, and so I changed that wall so it's only diagonal on one side. And then I couldn't figure out the door really what I wanted, so I ended up putting in a transom arch here instead. And I had the Realm of Magic chandelier there, but they're huge. So they're actually sized down one, and I know the lights don't quite match up, but it almost makes it look like it's a little spotlight coming off of it. So I thought it looked okay. And then, so this one here, I couldn't get that post to go straight. It kept going on an angle because one of the walls is on an angle. So eventually what I did was I just took out on one side, put the wall back in. So it's a little arch in one area instead of across the whole wall. And then this kitchen, oh my goodness, I spent so much time on this kitchen because of that diagonal wall there. I was trying to get the countertop to go around the diagonal wall, but I just could not get it to go right because it would stick out at one end or the other. And I tried using rounded ones. It's just, nothing seemed to work. I didn't like how it looked, but I kept trying. I really gave it a good effort. And put the stove in there. And so I have green counters in here, which is something I would never pick because green is not my favorite color, especially this kind of, I would think of this as a warm green, kind of yellowish green. I'm more into cool colors. See, that kind of works, but I didn't like how it looked. So, but the reason I picked the green counters was because I was watching Little Simsy's videos about her kitchen that she's building for her own house, and that's pretty much the color of what everything was, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of neat, and maybe I'll do that. So I tried to get some upper shelves in here as well, and I moved the smoke detector over onto the other wall, put a hood over top of the stove, and then just decided that wasn't going to work there, that wall. So I thought about flattening it out and making it square, but I thought, no, it's kind of neat having a diagonal wall. So then instead what I thought was maybe I'll just put plants there. There's a lot of plants. I keep saying it, but there's a ridiculous amount of plants in this build. So I make it a little breakfast nook here, a couple of table and chairs in the kitchen. Um, oh, and a decorative plate that's also green that goes with it quite nicely, actually. And some artwork. Nice dinosaurs. And so then this is the dining room. So it has the table is on the diagonal, just like the two walls here. But there's this like big empty spot at the end, so I put the grand piano there. Um, didn't really like how I had it sitting at first. Probably would have worked, but it just looked odd. And then more of these candles. Can you imagine how much it would actually cost to light your house with all these candles? Like you'd have to be, if it was me, I would be getting like fake candles that like LED ones. Real candles would just cost a fortune. So then I've got the same vampire pack toilet and sink that I used in one of the bathrooms upstairs. And I actually managed to fit a shower in this room. But then I was struggling with lights for a while too. So I kind of jump around a lot in this build from one place to another. So I like these lights with the circles, but I couldn't figure out where to put them. So I first put them in the entryway. And I'm like, no, I don't really like them here. And then I was like, oh, if I size them down, they will fit in the bathroom. So that's where they're at now. And then for the entranceway, I used more of the candle chandeliers. And then this room over here is like a bedroom, not bedroom, sorry, a living room. Kind of cozy. There was another little space there where there was walls, so I made it into like a chimney for the fireplace. And then the bathroom next to it is themed in red and black. Again, using a lot of the vampire stuff. It's really hard to see, sorry about that, but that's just because of the colors. And then there's a little washer and dryer in there beside the steps. It's not its own room. It's just kind of a little alcove between the steps and the next room. So I put the larger fireplace in here because it fit better with that wall behind it. And then I started off with a couch and a love seat because the love seat fit better in the corner, but it just didn't seem balanced. So I put the couch there and just put the I want to say plinth, the stand behind it with another fairy and some more flowers. And then I put a lot of flowers up on the mantle here. Oh, and a hanging one right by the door as well. I think that's a fire hazard, actually. I have a feeling that the hanging plant might catch fire. But it looks nice. And I came across that large flower medallion, so I put that outside. And then I didn't think it seemed a little out of balance there, so I put the larger one over on the other side. And then that rug that I used upstairs in one of the kids' rooms, I liked it so much that I brought it down into that other room. And I have some books, and then I put a little stereo in here. I don't know if there's enough space to get around there, but maybe. So then I just started working on this main room, and because I like that potted palm there. So what I was thinking was that this family, even though their house was very old style, like medieval style house, that they had gone on a trip or something to Solani and loved it so much they decided to bring it back to their home and decorated the main part of their main floor as if it was Solani instead of a medieval house. So this entire room pretty much is based off of the Solani pack. So have the TV sitting on what looks kind of like a treasure chest. They've got little benches there instead of actual couches. The wall dividers, and I didn't like how they were when I put them two beside each other. They kind of blocked off the whole thing. So I offset them, and they're like stepped, and so you can walk around them and stuff. I think it looks better. And then on the other side, I didn't really have enough space for that, so there's only one, but it's off so you can walk around the room with all the trees. And so it's kind of like a very minimalist room, I believe. So it's got some decorations in the corners, but for the most part, it's just kind of empty. Like there's a few things that they found on their trip. At least that's how I think of it. And I did actually eventually find something to fill that alcove. So I got some wall hangings. I had this table here with the kava dish, but then it just was too big, so I put the stuff that I had on the table onto two smaller tables. I didn't like the door that I had because it was a little smaller than the windows, but then I found this one that's a sliding door, but it's like it looks like it's two doors that open out instead of one that slides across. And I put some curtains on because if they're watching TV, it's nice to have curtains in the room if you're watching TV, even if it's just to block out some of the light. Our living room did not have curtains for a long time, and every time I tried to watch TV during the day, all I can see is the windows reflecting off the TV. So, and I put little poofs around for the people to sit on, little stools. And then what else do we have here? Oh yeah, and a fish tank. Currently doesn't have fish. And then a little speaker. And then so in the back room here that hasn't had really anything in it, I put a I put a table for doing seances, a seance table. Oh, and there's a dance floor here too, by the way. So you can listen to the speaker and dance on the dance floor. So yeah, this room originally was just decorated the same as everything else, but I decided I'm just going to make it into a sunroom. And I tried different doors on it, eventually ended up with the large ones there. And so I have the seance table in the middle there, and covered it up with some plants and some curtains on the inside as well. Not enough to cover all the windows, just kind of, it would be enough to make it look like it might cover them up. And so I thought this, like if somebody in the family was a little bit on into the paranormal here, so that's why we've got the up in the upper floor there is the cauldron, and then in here it's it's full of plants. Surprise, surprise. There is a lot of plants on this one as well. So I think when I did this, Blooming Rooms had actually come out not long before, and I was really excited to use all of the plants that came with it. And so I just kind of filled it with plants. And a lot of them are the pink plants too, to go with the pink walls in the room and the pink curtains. And I had that pergola I was going to use, but I couldn't figure out where to put it. It didn't really seem to go anywhere. So here I'm putting a little bit of dirt around the edges of the house, which makes it look a little bit more realistic. And because I've pretty much finished decorating the inside at this point, now I have to move to the outside. So that's why I was doing the dirt around the edges. I know some other people would put a ton more clutter in there. I've never really been one for a lot of clutter. Maybe it's because my house is so cluttered that I kind of like the clean look of the house without a whole lot of clutter. So I put a little post underneath the room here because it hangs over quite a bit actually. So now it looks like it's actually got some support, and I put some transoms on here as well. So they're not actually extra walls, they're just transom, but you have to build a wall for it to show up there, or a fence. And then put a little patio underneath it. So I'm just trying to find the nicest rocks here, or not rocks, but like what do I want to say? Oh, and so I was trying to make this like multi-level, so I raised up the house a little bit, and then to try to put a pool in, like because I wanted the pool to be sunk down a little bit lower from the deck. But so at first I put the pool lower, but then I couldn't actually put a pool in. So then I put it all flat again, and then raised the whole house up a little bit. But every time I did that, my fence would, I would lose a bit of the fence because it can't connect properly. But this is looking nice like this. So I think I raised it up 2 levels there, and because I was thinking that I was going to have it go down 1 and then go down to the floor or to ground level with the pool. But that's not how it ended up in the end. I was struggling a little bit here with it. I was like, how are they going to get into the pool? Put steps down. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. It wouldn't let me build the pool where I wanted it to. But eventually I did get it. So there's the pool, is at ground level. I couldn't make it go up when I tried to do that. It tried to raise the whole ground. So I tried different things like having it go down a little step, but nothing really did what I wanted it to do. I put some stuff in the pool, some lights and a little floaty, and then I've got the diving platform. But yeah, so originally I tried putting steps there. I didn't like it, so I made the whole thing go down 1, so it doesn't actually need step. And then so at the front, I needed to do the same thing. So it's got a little tiny porch there. And then again, I was looking for something to make a nice path, and I decided eventually just to use the same one I had at the back. And it goes out to the road, and we've got some shrubs, but the shrubs I was using didn't actually go all the way across, so I used the same ones I was using on the end, but just sized down, and it actually worked really well. I was happy with that. And then putting in flowers, so I have the hollyhocks sized up, so they're actually more like the actual size. My hollyhocks grow to be like 10 feet tall, so I always size up the hollyhocks because to me they look too small. And I use the darker colors because this is kind of a darker build, like not like goth or anything like that, but it's very dark wood, so I thought the dark flowers looked better with it. But I've got lighter flowers over on the other side. And then here's my 2 fence pieces. There we go. I moved them in, and I put a little tiny fence there around the edge of the pool. I'm not sure if Sims can walk over that fence or not, but it just makes it look nicer like that. And then I've got some planters, the tree with lights in it, more planters, and then I have a little kiddie pool underneath the tree, and there's a fire pit there, and there's a barbecue somewhere. I think it's beside where I'm trying to put the patio chairs there, and I put a little patio table. So the backyard seems quite full to me, but I think it looks nice. So then at nighttime you can see all the lights in the tree. I put some lights around the pool. I put a little cherry tree over here by the edge of the building with some plants around it. And then last time I went in, actually, the cherry tree was missing. I'm not sure why, so I put it back in. But no, I like how this went. I put more hollyhocks around the edges, some little purple flowers underneath the window here, because it doesn't go right down to the ground. Or, sorry, it does go down to the ground, but it makes it look like it's planted around the edge. And then, so there's my little platform there. That's supposed to be the chimney for the fireplace. I put a chimney up on the roof for it. Although technically it goes through a room. I just figure it's actually in the wall and you can't see it. Tried to put a gate at the front, couldn't get it to work, so I sized up the arch. It makes it huge, but it works. All right, so I'm going to do a little tour of the house here. So we can take a look from Sim's point of view. Whoa, get camera working here. All right. So it's really high on this. I'm not sure why. Anyways, go through this arch here. And there's a bike actually sitting in the front here. What's shown on the speed thing, but it was right at the end and I kind of missed it. So here's all the flowers. And actually, I'm just gonna take this here. I'm gonna put the walls up here so we can see. All right, that's better. Okay, go through here. We go up to the front door, go through, and there's a closet right there, and little window here, and then you can go into the bathroom, and there's a shower, the bathroom here. Okay, let's go back out. I want to go into the closet. There we go. So here we're into the main room. You can see actually the laundry is right ahead of us there. And go and take a look at the plants over here. And then here we go. Let's go into the kitchen and dining room area. There's the dining room. Looks really nice. And into our kitchen. Got the sink, stove. And oh, my plates are actually clipping through. I didn't realize that. Oops. And then got plants over here. Nice picture on the wall, table, chairs. I'll have to go fix the hollyhocks. I didn't realize they were clipping through. And you can see all the seating here, a bunch of stools, poof, some yarn, and then through this door here is another washroom, and this one is all in black and red. And here's our TVs, a couple stools, and fish tank. Another Solani, what do you call that? Statue art piece. And then this is our other bed, or I keep saying bedroom. It's actually our living room, and it's the only living room we really have other than that main room. So in here, it's more of a sitting room, I guess, than a living room. So we've got a little stereo, lots of plants, got our coffee table with some books, fireplace with some plants on top of there. And then we come out, and there's the steps upstairs, but there is one more room down here. Actually, I'll save that for later. We'll take a look at it. Oh, there's a treasure chest here too, actually, from Solani. Okay, let's go upstairs, and then we'll go out through the last room into the backyard later. Ah, okay, I think we just walked through the steps. Okay, why am I having a hard time getting up here? Gone up steps before, but it's not letting me. So let's just go up to here. Oops. Head. There we go. Right. So up here, we're just kind of in a long hallway with a bunch of doors. Not a lot of light on this side. Maybe I need another light added in here. But there's a door here that goes out onto the balcony. And you can see our cauldron and a bunch of planters and a chess table, more planters. And here's this giant tree. Can't really get around it. That's still all you can access from this side. So let's go back in. And over here. And this is our main bedroom here. Looks quite comfy. We got like a little bench seat here, a bunch of plants, a desk, dresser, some books, and then through here and into the nice blue bathroom, which also doesn't have a light. I keep forgetting to put lights in these rooms, apparently. But we've got a green wall over here, shower, house coat, more plants, towels. And then there's actually a door over on this side too, which leads out to ping pong table. And this is the only way to get out onto this one actually. So we can come out here and take a look around. All right, so let's go back in. And then go back out through this door. I like this little tiny window here. You can see out onto the patio, but there's no way to access it from here. And so this is a toddler's room. There's some toys on the floor. There's the dollhouse, dresser, giant planter. So there's that one. It's just a small room. And then over here we have the other room. It's got a nice dresser over here. We've got the laundry hamper, beds, desk, some koi fish on the wall, a lighted clock, and access to the patio from this side. So over here we've got more planters, suit of armor. There's a ferry. You can look down into there from here. Or you can come over here. There's going to be lots of plants planted over here. There's a nice easel. That's what they're called. Got an easel. Got another spot to sit over here. You can look out over this side. Look at all the nice stuff over here too. So head back in. And they've got a mirror in the corner. And then here's the bathroom. Got some lights sitting on the ledge here. Got the tub, laundry hamper, flowers, towels, house coats. Just basically bathroom. There we go. And then this is the last bedroom. So we've got some more flowers over here. Some pictures on the wall. Pretty bed. Some reason the yarn's in the wall. And have to fix a bunch of things here that are kind of not where they're supposed to be. All right, but then we've got this fighting machine here. We've got the violin, dressing table, lights hanging from the ceiling. And let's go downstairs. Go down now. All right. Okay, so we come down here and go through this door. I'm not sure why our line of sight's so high. It is. Okay. There we go. Go through the door here and into this last room. And this last room is where we have our seance table and then all the pretty flowers. A lot of them are pink flowers to go with the room. And you can go out through the door here, get to the backyard. And we've got some more planters. We've got some an actual garden over on this side. Some a fire pit set up, toddler pool, nice tree with a little house at the bottom of it, a little gnome house. We've got a table with some chairs, swimming pool. We've got the monkey bars over here, and there is another door to go inside there. And then we've got over here patio chairs and a little barbecue. So that is our house, and I think it looks pretty nice. Like I said, there are a few things that kind of seem to have shifted. Oh, I want to see if that cherry tree is still there, because for some reason it disappeared last time I saved it, and yeah, it's disappeared again. I'm not sure why the cherry tree keeps disappearing off of there, but it seems to be gone again. um, so anyways, I guess that doesn't need to have a cherry tree there then. So this is the house. It is available on um, uh, the gallery, and it's just my name is Rebellica. It's the same name as my channel on there, and or well, it's just Rebellica on the gallery. And yeah, so if you want to play in this house or take a look at it some more, that's where you can find it. I put over 6 hours worth of work into decorating this house. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time. So don't forget to click like on this video if you enjoyed it, and click subscribe to get notified of more videos. Thanks. Bye.